Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Tickets go on sale today for WWE WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia on April 6th and 7th, 2024. I spoke to three-time women's champ Bianca Belair to preview the big event, as well as her crazy turn of events winning then losing the title earlier this month at SummerSlam and how she hopes to get revenge at WWE Payback. She also reflected on her historic moments in 2021, becoming the first black woman to both win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania. Hey, Bianca Belair, hey, thanks so much for joining us on WTOP in DC.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Now, we're talking because tickets go on sale today for WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia on April 6th and 7th. This will actually be the closest Mania to our DC Baltimore area since WrestleMania 15 in Philly when Stone Cold beat The Rock back in 99. Hard to believe that was 25 years ago, but why is it so important? Why should folks in our DC Baltimore area hop in the car and drive? It's less than 2 hours from Baltimore to Philly, you know? Why should they hop in the car and make this sort of like a once-in-a-lifetime occasion?
Well, WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year. It's what we work all year long towards. Everything comes to a head at WrestleMania. All the storylines, all the feuds. You'll have the biggest matches of the year. We consider it our Super Bowl of WWE. And so it's, people travel from all over the world to come to WrestleMania. And anybody that's in WWE, our goal is to get to WrestleMania and be on WrestleMania. But, it's amazing. It's 70,000, 80,000 people. The crowd is electrifying. You have big entrances, the best gear of the year, the biggest matches. You have the pyro, the fireworks going. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing event. And it's not just one day, it's 2 days. So, make sure you get your tickets now and definitely come out to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the Super Bowl, but it's like imagine like a 2-day Super Bowl mixed with the Oscars because you got
Yeah.
the sports, you got the entertainment. It's like all the big events all at once. But like you're saying, it's like the biggest of the year, but also like if we big picture it, it's it's also the 40th anniversary. It's so and WWE usually breaks out all the the big tricks and surprises for these big anniversary ones. So yeah, I mean, do you think there'll be some extra surprises or maybe some local celebrities or you know what I mean? Like tease the fact that it's 40 years in the history of it too.
I mean, yeah, it's 40 years. So of course, I mean, WWE, we do it big for every WrestleMania, and every WrestleMania is different from the other, but 40 is going to be huge. And yeah, we always have some type of surprise entrances, surprise guests, celebrities. I mean, everybody is fighting to get to WWE, even if you're not in WWE. So it's gonna be huge. It's definitely gonna be worth your money, your time, your travel to come out. I mean, we're gonna pull out all the tricks in the hat. We're pulling them out for WrestleMania 40.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about your personal angle here, your storylines and what's been going on with you lately. At SummerSlam just this month, back on August 5th, it was a crazy turn of events. You had beat Asuka and Charlotte Flair in that triple threat match to win the title back, only for EOS guys to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase and come out and beat you. So you were already worn down and slightly injured during the match. It's just not fair. But yeah, memories of that real quick. Were you disappointed, but also just for fans, like a thrilling turn of events?
It just so much happened at SummerSlam. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. Yeah, I defeated I defeated Charlotte and Asuka in a triple threat match. I got the WWE women's title up in the air. Thought I won. Thought I was going to be able to go to the hotel that night and celebrate with my family. I was almost out of the match with a knee injury. I came back, fought through it. And as soon as I barely held the title up, EO's music hit. She comes out, she cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and she takes the title from me. I think I held the title for maybe 90 seconds. I have to try to laugh about it to try to make light of the situation and say, hey, 90 seconds or not, it still counts. I became a 3-time women's champion, but at the end of the day, SummerSlam has just been very confusing for me. It either goes extremely bad from when 3 years ago I lost my title in 26 seconds to extremely good from last year. I walked out with the title to this year. I won a title and then lost it. So it's very 50-50 for me at SummerSlam. But I got to hold that new title up in the air for 90 seconds, and I want to get it back in my hands and be able to take it home and celebrate with it and have a proper title streak. And so I'm definitely coming back for my revenge to Io and Bailey too. And that's what makes it hard because it's not just Io. She has Bailey by her side. Dakota has seemed to maybe come back, and so it's going to be really hard to get that title back because you have to go through three women to try to get that title. But I've been in a feud and kind of like feuding with Damage Control, who is Bailey, Io, and Dakota, for almost a year now. So I know them in and out at the back of my hand, but I'm definitely coming back for my revenge.
Yeah, speaking of getting that revenge, we have payback, WWE Payback, not a pay-per-view. What do they call it now? Premium live event on Peacock on September 2nd in a PLE. I'm used to PPV pay-per-view back in the day. But anyway, so it's September 2nd on Peacock. Well, actually, and we got SmackDown tonight. So tune in tonight, folks, too, as well. Friday Night SmackDown. But yeah, what could we see you? I know you probably can't tease too much, but give us something. Is there, could we perhaps see you beginning tonight on SmackDown, leading or at Payback? Starting the quest for revenge. I mean, it's called Payback, so it's perfect for your SummerSlam Payback.
It is. It's perfect. It's so perfect for me to come and get my payback, get my look back on Io Sky. But yeah, I wasn't on SmackDown last week. SummerSlam, I had a pretty bad injury to my knee. And so I was just trying to take a week off or so to see if I can get it back in shape. I don't want to try to come back for until I'm 100%. So we'll see how I'm feeling tonight. If my knee is feeling pretty good, I'll be back out there. But if I need another week or so, might take another week or so. But just try to take it day by day, minute by minute to see, when I'll be able to be at 100%. Because like I said, it's going to be hard to get that title back. I have to go through like 3 women to get that title back.
Yeah, well, hopefully, recover quickly, and I mean, you have till September 2nd on Peacock for Payback. So hopefully we'll see you factoring in there, get back in the picture somehow. Well, you mentioned Io Sky sort of surprised you and stole that SmackDown Championship title right away. We have Rhea Ripley as the Raw champ on a really successful run. What's your overall, just the overall strength of the women's division right now on both brands, Raw and SmackDown? I mean, it seems like it's doing really well at the moment.
It definitely is. I mean, our women's division in WWE is so stacked. We have so much depth to where there's so many women that can go out there and be the main event of the night. So many women that can be contenders to go after the title from our current champions. And so it's exciting because the competition is thick, but that just pushes you to be the best. And I think that's why we have the best women's roster in the world, because our competition is so stacked that you have to bring your A game or somebody else is going to be fighting for your spot. And so, you have Rhea Ripley, who's the champion, been over on Raw, and Io, who's champion on SmackDown. And everybody's gunning towards them. So it's the roster is stacked. The roster is very, very stacked, and that makes it even more exciting for WrestleMania, because when you think about WrestleMania, you think about the women who are champions now, you think about the women who are going after those titles. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen for WrestleMania, and what the matches are going to be. Who's going to win Royal Rumble, who's going to win Elimination Chamber. It's so just unpredictable, and that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, and just a couple of your career highlights really quick. What was it like back in 2021 winning the Women's Royal Rumble, and then also then at WrestleMania 37 that year beating Sasha Banks to win the SmackDown Women's title? I think that was only the second time 2 women main evented at WrestleMania, and the first time 2 Black superstars main evented. It's like, do you look back with special pride at all those glass ceiling shattered accolades? I'm sure in the moment you're just trying to compete, but 50 years from now when you look back, you're going to be able to point to that and say, wow, I made history.
Yeah, no, I mean, in those moments, definitely realized how big the moment was. When the Royal Rumble match was so exciting to me. I outlasted 29 other women, and I remember being in that moment, realizing I just won the Royal Rumble, and I was celebrating, and I was in the moment so much that I forgot for a minute what came with the win of Royal Rumble. I was excited about winning, and then I turned to the left and I saw the WrestleMania sign. I remembered, oh yeah, that means I'm going to WrestleMania. And it clicked for me and it was just so exciting. And I realized I made history in that moment by becoming the second African American to win the Royal Rumble, the first being The Rock. So
Yeah, The
um
Rock. You might have heard
I,
of
I
him.
yeah, yeah. So I was like, wow, my name is in the same conversation as The Rock. I'm starting my legacy. I'm creating history. Then fast forward to WrestleMania and being able to main event WrestleMania and make history with that moment. And that moment was just so emotional for me. And anybody who goes back and watches that match can see where I get so overwhelmed. I'm in tears in the ring before the match starts because it was just it's going to go down in history. And then I got to walk out as champion from that match, and then we won an SB off of that match. So that whole year, that whole era was amazing, and I definitely, realized how big it was.
Absolutely. Well, there's so many, other, stats and accolades we can throw out, like your longest reigning Raw Women's Champ and all that stuff. But in the final seconds, I'd love to sort of go more inside the ring. Tell us about, why it's so exciting, and you're famous for that really super long, like Rapunzel ponytail that you swing as a weapon, the finishing move, the kiss of death, that torture rack into the face buster. And I think I hear you. Did I hear you also sew your own ring gear sometimes? So yeah, talk about sort of the presentation of when you go to the ring, how you want that style of your moves and your wardrobe and the hair factoring in, like how you try to make it an overall presentation that's different from other superstars.
Yeah, I mean that's it's your wrestling moves, what you do in the ring is very important, but what's even more important is your presentation. It really, it's your brand. It shows everyone what you're about, who you are. It's what, gravitates people's eyes to you. And so I'm all about being, very fashionable. My style is being very sporty, glam. So I always try to have some element of sequence and or rhinestone to shine. I have the kiss prints on my gear. I have the long braid. That's my signature look. And yes, I have to use it as a weapon sometimes, but my number one rule is do not touch my hair. So when girls touch my hair, I have to swing it at them and hit them with the braid. I have the famous finisher move, which is called the KOD, which stands for the kiss of death. It's because I make them kiss the mat, and if I hit that move, everybody knows it's a 1, 2, 3, and I'm walking out with the victory. And yeah, I sew my own gear. I'm all about fashion. I try to be very fashionable in the ring. I want to be known as my fashion. I want to be known for my fashion, and I put a lot of effort into it. So anytime you see me in the ring, anytime you see me in a video game, 2K, action figure, that's gear that I made.
That's awesome. Well, and of course, in real life, married to Montez Ford of the tag team, the Street Profits with Angela Dawkins. Excited to see, what Montez is up to at Mania as well. But let's full circle, bring it back around. There's so many storylines that could end up main eventing. If you buy your tickets today to WrestleMania, could we get Roman versus Cody Rhodes rematch? Could we get, Uso versus Uso brother? We don't know. We have Seth as the Raw champ. LA Knight is on fire with fans right now. So we don't know who else is going to factor in, not to mention all the storylines you're involved in that we talked about. So it's good. There's so much that could happen. So yeah, I mean, just end it with saying, speak directly to the listeners and say, hey, buy tickets to WrestleMania today and tune in tonight on SmackDown.
Yeah. Buy tickets to WrestleMania today. Tickets are on sale today at www.wwe.com. It's going to be the biggest show of the year. It's going to be amazing. Get your tickets now and also tune into SmackDown tonight.
To see what might happen on the road to Payback after SummerSlam. All right. Bianca Belair, hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.